Can I help you?
Why, yes, you can. I'm here to report a terrible crime.
And what terrible crime is that?
This one. Ah, shit. I told this all wrong. Quick history lesson.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my aggressively average channel, bringing you consistently mediocre content. Are you excited?
Probably not.
Am I excited?
You bet your ass I am.
Before we go any further, please take the time to hit that like button or dislike button. Anything really goes at this point. I'm just trying to get any engagement that I can. You watching the video is plenty, but if you wouldn't mind taking the time to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, that'd be awesome.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
With this review, I will be providing a spoiler-free analysis and some critical information, giving you some context as to whether or not you want to go watch the movie, and finally, a brief personal review. I know there are tons of elaborate movie reviews out there, so I'm just going to try to cut the fat, keep it to things that you might be interested in, not give anything away, and get right to it. I'd like to start off this video by thanking DC, or whoever has production rights to actually making these, for finally deciding that rated R is the right move for these characters. Sure, maybe it's a little bit more difficult to monetize the movie after it's released with merchandise and, you know, other things for kids, especially given the things that these characters do in a rated R movie.
What do you get?
I don't think so.
When you cross
think
a
we're
mentally
done
ill
with you,
loner
George.
with
That's
a
it.
society that abandons him and treats him like trash,
Call the police,
I'll
Gene.
tell you what you get.
But I understand that kids are the primary target because that's where the majority of the money actually lies. However, the R rating opens the door to a new entire movie-going possibility. It allows the movie to feel more real and believable. Life in general is not rated G, PG, or PG-13. It is consistently rated R. Or, you know, XXX, or it just depends. Before we move on, I'd like to say congratulations and props to Christopher Nolan. You know, this kind of goes against my point, for writing and directing the entire, and at that, amazing Batman trilogy with a PG-13 rating. Now, this isn't something that anybody can do. In fact, it's something that no one can do except for him. So we need to accept that he is a magician, and then it'll never be done again. Don't try it. Just go with the rated R. Thank you, Christopher. You gave us great movies. But it's time to move into a different type of Batman, into a different type of DC character. Okay, now I'll get to the movie. Birds of Prey, and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie. Well done, ma'am. You crushed it. Some would say knocked it out of the park. I don't believe, nor do I think I will ever believe, that there is another actress that could fit this role more perfectly. As for the movie itself, well, I'll give you a little spoiler-free synopsis. First, to no one's surprise, Harley Quinn is an absolute mess. She and Mr. J just broke up, and she is straight up not having a good time. Not only is she torn up about the breakup, but while she was with him, she racked up a pretty hefty tab of pissing people the off. And not just any people, some badass dudes. One of which, and we'll get to this later, is Black Mask. So when some local villains catch on to the fact that she and Mr. J broke up, she has a monster target on her head. Black Mask, the owner of one of the clubs that she frequents, is one of these guys. So he captures her pretty early into the movie, but she slips out of a seemingly doomful situation by promising him that she's gonna go find a diamond that he was already looking for.
Wait, you lost something, right? You lost something, I heard you say it. A diamond.
So she heads out, and everyone in town is still trying to kill her. But during the time that she's looking for the diamond, she teams up with Huntress, or the Crossbow Killer, Black Canary, and Renee Montoya. And just about every character, aside from Black Mask and Harley Quinn, is useless. I mean, they really, really are not good. Renee Montoya honestly might be one of the corniest characters I've seen in a long time. And for me, it really hurt the movie. Granted, they acknowledge how stupid her lines are in the movie, but you only get a pass to do this once. And really, you shouldn't even do it once. By telling me how stupid her lines are, you're really just telling me that you were lazy and didn't feel like writing good lines. When you tell me how stupid her lines are twice, that just tells me you can't write at all. Like, why? Why even have her as a character if you can't write the lines for that character? Telling me her lines suck doesn't magically make them not suck. And it doesn't just make me feel better about it either. Just because you know doesn't mean it's good. Self-awareness can only go so far, and usually you don't blatantly explain how self-aware you are. Despite the poor performances by a few and at that key characters, I still found the movie to be very entertaining. It's worth the 2 hours sitting there in the theater and worth the money that you would pay for a ticket. It's definitely not a bad movie. Some of the choreography in the fights was really cool, especially when Harley Quinn, has a bat in hand. And she swings a bat with some seriously convincing form. Honestly, they obviously took the time to make these fight scenes, really elaborate and fun to watch. And the R rating allowed for some intense gore and some hilarious moments that you wouldn't otherwise have been able to put in the movie. And as I said earlier, Harley Quinn wasn't the only good character. She was awesome, but Ewan McGregor was awesome too. Ewan McGregor, my darling, from a heroin addict in Trainspotting.
No, thank you. I'll proceed directly to the intravenous injection of hard drugs, please.
To a sick voice in Moulin Rouge.
My gift is my soul, and this one's for you.
To a Jedi Master.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy this Sith, not join them!
Is there anything that this beautiful man can't do?
Woo! Who's having a good time? You are!
Between Margot and Ewan, they gotta be experiencing some severe back pain from carrying the out of this movie. Sorry, I had to say it. I know. It won't happen again. Okay, relax. This isn't the best movie that you're ever gonna see, nor is it one of the better superhero villain movies out there that have even come out in the past couple years, nor is it really the best movie of the month. I definitely recommend going to see it in theaters, because if you wait, I don't know how enjoyable it's going to be in a non-theater setting. A lot of what made the movie fun to watch was the explosions and the taking advantage of the rated R violence. There really isn't a whole lot outside of that, but it is really entertaining. Okay, so now for some personal ratings. First, for the acting, Margot Robbie, 8 out of 10. As I said before, fantastic job. Incredibly convincing. No one could have really done this better. You killed it. Ewan McGregor, 8 out of 10. Solid performance from the home slice himself. He didn't get a ton of screen time. Granted, he wasn't the main character. But I think if he did, I would have actually had a higher opinion of the movie. Just take away some of the other characters. Everybody else, 4 out of 10. Absolute garbage. Just some hot ass garbage. Absolute garbage. Nothing good about it. I'm sorry. Plot and character development, 7 out of 10. It was decent, and Harley Quinn's character was built out fairly well, and Black Mask was too. No one else was, and there were some other major characters in the movie that I just didn't care about, and I don't think many people do care about. The acting doesn't help, but the lack of plot development, and there's a bit of a corny factor in a few of the characters. If you see it, you'll understand. The story was told in a pretty weird way, completely out of order, which a lot of times I don't mind. But I didn't really see the purpose of it being told out of order. I feel like most of it could have been told in order, and it would make just as much sense, and it'd be easier to follow. It kind of lost my attention a few times, but I was reeled back in with the action and the choreography of the fight scenes, really. Overall score, 7.0 out of 10. I know this got like a high 80 and certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is a bit of an overrating. I don't think it was that good. It was decent. It wasn't bad. It does bring some freshness to the table, and a lot of that is stemming from the leniency of the R rating, which I think is heading in the absolute correct direction for DC specifically. I think all of the rest of their movies need to be rated R. I really do believe that Wonder Woman is a decent movie. It's pretty good. It feels like a Marvel movie. It doesn't feel like a DC movie. They hit the lottery on the first one, so they're just going to keep on that train going forward. It's going to be interesting to see how they integrate that potentially into a rated R Batman, a rated R Harley Quinn, rated R Joker. If they do, and maybe they won't actually integrate them. If they have to make another Justice League, I hope and pray they don't do it like the way they did it before. I'll give it a solid, it's good. with a lowercase g. On a side note, as I was scrolling through reviews after I got out of the movie just to see how people felt after I left, I don't like to read too many reviews before I go in because I don't like it necessarily affecting how I perceive the movie before I actually get in there. I like to keep an open mind. But this one dude loved the fact that he can contain his entire opinion to 2 words. And 2 words that I thought at first was like, okay, dude, you can put a little bit more effort into this. But the more I thought about it, actually, the more I agreed with what he said. And I think it was well put, concise, beautiful, elegant, Shakespearean even. And I'll throw it up real quick. Just take a look at what this dude said and tell me maybe you agree with him. And maybe this isn't super accurate. I think it might be closer to an aggressively pretty good rather than just aggressively okay. Because he did give it a fresh tomato rather than a rotten tomato, despite the fact that he used these 2 words to describe it, which is really how I feel about the movie. But you get the point. In conclusion, definitely go watch the movie. Catch it while it's in theaters. I don't know that it's really worth it outside of theaters. It's decent. It's not that great. If you disagree with me, please let me know. Did you find it aggressively okay? Well, that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I've convinced you to go watch the movie. If you've seen it already, let me know your thoughts. If you agreed with me, if you disagreed with me, if you think I'm a total dumbass, maybe. That's all fair game. And lastly, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to cultivate a little bit of some viewership and some following and continue to make these videos. I really like making them, and you know, what else am I going to do with my opinions? Peace.
When you fall in love. Oh shit, is that a hyena in a bathtub? I named him Bruce after that hunky Wayne guy.